The other day, I received a message. It was sent to me via Instagram, and it was such a powerful message that I decided that I wanted to share the message and what my response to the message had been. Dear Twape, I'm 9 months pregnant right now, and I'm engaged to my fiance. I got pregnant earlier this year by surprise, but we loved each other, so we proceeded to get engaged and decided we were going to be a family, which is something that I have personally been wanting for a long time. But I fear that it's not entirely the same case with my fiance. It's not that I think he doesn't love me or anything like that, but I don't think he's adjusting well to the responsibilities that are now going to come with being parents and being a family. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but everything I've been doing since I found out that I'm pregnant has been to get ready for our child. I save our money as much as I can. I've been buying things and always paying attention to the doctor's appointments, etc. And I'm not saying he doesn't do anything, but I really feel like he doesn't. He keeps living his life the same way as if he was a bachelor. He's not making any efforts to start acting like a grown-up. He doesn't clean up after himself. He doesn't buy anything on his own capacity for the baby. He doesn't put any money away, etc., etc. He blows it all as soon as he gets it. How do I approach him with these concerns? Because I want to feel like he wants to build this family with me, not like I'm just a person who lives in his house with him and is expected to take care of all of the responsibilities. I want him to feel responsible when he sees a mess to clean it up, or not spend money on things he doesn't need and rather save it for the baby. How do I tell him to change? I thought about this message for several weeks before deciding to record the podcast, and I had responded at the time, and I had a conversation with this young lady. And what I'm about to share now is what I shared with her. I said to her, first and foremost, you have no right whatsoever to tell anybody to change. Who the hell do you think you are to tell anybody to change? And her response to that was, he has to change because we are about to have a baby. And I said to her, he doesn't have to do anything. He may decide to do something. He may want to do something, but he doesn't have to do anything. The conversation that we had went on, and what I then said to her after that was that, in my opinion, the mistake that she was making was assuming that her script, the script that she had written in her mind, was the script with which the story was supposed to go down. A very, very strong phrase that somebody said to me once. You give grace to get grace. I asked her, are you perfect? Are you a perfect person? And she said, no, of course I'm not. So I said, then who are you to then say to your fiance that you should change? This is something that I've been meditating on and thinking about for a very, very long time. And in the context of my conversation with her, I wanted to share this on here. I am of the opinion that her entire point of departure was wrong. She has made the decision that she wants to marry this person and they're going to have a child together. My opinion is that she needs to realize certain things. Number one, the relationship that she has with her fiance is completely independent of the relationship that she has with the father of her child. Let me say that again. The relationship that she has with her fiance is completely independent of the relationship that she has with the father of her child. Those two things are completely independent, and she's trying to blend the two. Number one. Number two, she doesn't get to dictate what is right or wrong behavior in the context of their relationship. Number three, they're engaged. In the Malawian sense, they're married. Marriage is about commitment. The most profound advice that I was ever given was that the most important thing in marriage is not the commitment, it's committing to the commitment. So what I said to this young lady was that it doesn't matter to you, directly you have no power whatsoever. You are not this perfect humanoid who can go and tell a person what they should or shouldn't do because of, no. All you can do is commit to the commitment. Therefore, whether he's on the couch playing PS4 all day, whether he's a bum who doesn't do anything, whether he spends all his money on drinks, whatever the case may be, your only job is to commit to the commitment. And why do I say that? And let me get myself clear right off the jump. I'm not a proponent of you must suffer in your marriage and marriage is about suffering and when you're there you should suffer. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that you give grace to get grace. Because if those are his shortcomings and those are the list of all the things that he does that you don't like, how would you feel if you saw his list of all the things that you do that he doesn't like? Unless somebody is being harmed or somebody is being hurt, you must allow each person to arrive at their own stages on their own in the context of the relationship. So your only job within the relationship is to commit to the commitment. And your commitment was to have and to hold, for better or for worse, through sickness and poor, etc., etc. So let me get to the point that I made with her, because at this point she started arguing with me. And she started saying, no, Twape, that doesn't make any sense. You're trying to tell me that I should continue being there for this dude when he's not doing anything for me, and this. And it was at this point that I shared with her another piece of advice that I was given. And this is my own personal perspective, and this is what I believe. The Western construct of love is false. Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, find the right one. This is the one that makes my heart beat 3 times at a time, blah, 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 blah. I'm not a proponent of any of that, and I don't agree with that. The advice that I was given was that when you are looking for a partner, do not look for the perfect person. Do not even look for the perfect person for you, because that person doesn't exist. You must approach any long-term relationship, particularly a marriage, and particularly a marriage that's going to have children, looking for good, raw materials. That's all. You're not looking for a perfect person. You're looking for good, raw materials. You and your partner are like blocks of marble. You're looking for a block of marble. That is good, raw materials. So people who say to me, oh, this partner of mine, they make my heart go boom, 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 because those things are not going to last. You're looking for good, raw materials. Is she kind? Is she loving? Is she loyal? Good, raw materials. So you and your partner are both blocks of marble, and with a hammer and chisel in the relationship, you hammer away slowly until you build a beautiful sculpture. That's why they say that relationships are work. Work is not a synonym for suffering. Work is just a synonym. Work means you have to put something in. So your job is to chip away at your partner to make them the beautiful sculpture that they are. But it can't be a beautiful sculpture if at the starting point, the person was not a good block of marble. So I asked this lady, you decided that you wanted to get married and start a family with him. Do you think that your fiance, at his core, has good raw materials to be the man that you think that he can be? And she said, yes, of course. And then immediately started telling me all the wonderful things about him and how he's so loving and how he's so caring. And then I said to this lady, and I gave her 2 anecdotes, real life anecdotes here in Malawi. Story number 1. I know a lady, she has the perfect life. She has the beautiful home, 3 cars in the driveway, 2 beautiful, well-accomplished children. They're doing great. The husband is successful. They go on holiday 2 times a year. Their house is so well put together. They just have the perfect life, right? Wrong. The husband is a drug addict. He beats her constantly. He cheats on her constantly. The life that I was seeing that I thought was perfect was anything but. Story number 2. I have a lady that comes up to me and says, you know what, Twape, this lady married and has one child with her husband, says, I'm about to leave this guy. He ain't nothing. He doesn't do anything. Every crackpot idea that he has never works out. I could be with a dude who could be taking care of me. I have to pay for everything myself. This guy doesn't even bring anything into the house. I'm screaming at him that he should get a job. He can't even go out and get a job. I don't even know why I'm with this guy, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, damn, maybe you should leave this dude. Until I dug a little bit deeper. He is the most loving, caring father that you will ever meet. He bathes his children every day. He puts them to sleep. He tucks them in. He cares. He worries about their well-being. He's a fully present father. He does homework with his kids every single day. So who do you want to be? Person number one or person number two? Because you, the person in whatever situation you're in, the man, the woman, whichever, whatever, you don't get to decide what your version of perfect is. What's the trade-off? Oh, nah, he's on the couch playing PlayStation all the time. Okay. What do you want him to do? You're going to be the... So I said that, and then I reiterated my point. And this is the point that I am trying to make. And let me be very, very clear. On the flip side of all of this, you are allowed to change your mind. In any relationship, you are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to say that I thought that I could deal with this relationship on the terms that I was given at the beginning. Those terms, now that I have to experience them, I no longer want to be a part of them, and I have changed my mind. Well and good. What you are not allowed to do is assassinate the other person's character for being the very same person that they were when you got with them to begin with, and say that they now need to change because it makes me unhappy. That's what you're not allowed to do. So I said to this young lady, you are in the position that you're in, having a child with this man. And the only thing that you can do is commit to the commitment, to the point where you can say, I have tried everything that I can. Because we are not perfect. And there is going to come a day where you're going to ask for forgiveness that you do not deserve. And that person is going to give it to you anyway. Why? Because you give grace to get grace.